All right, Grand Rising, everyone. It is Shalonda, and I'm back. And yeah, so I don't know. We're in Revelations today. I was paying attention to a couple of yeah, I was reading a couple of things pertaining to some things that I saw today, right? So again, in the media, we got the whole thing with Barbados, okay? Um, with I guess they're gonna be disconnecting or whatever from their sexual intercourse, which is, I mean, just like that. Excuse me. Is like sexual intercourse is like any type of ties that somebody has with someone that they work together to. Um, I mean, I guess it's like even maybe commerce or trading or kind of like things like that, you know. So again, when it's saying no sexual intercourse or immoralities, like we'll see in this chapter that it's talking about these evil deeds of people taking jewels and taking things and things like this or whatever, whatever. So again, I feel like in a sense, some of this stuff is people are rightful to do so because they are the original people. But I feel like again, when we're talking about third generation so-called black people that have their parents came here maybe 3 generations ago, that are not the ones that were they call, well, I guess some people might say ADOS, but prior to colonization, okay? Again, because there was only really 250,000 so-called Africans that came from Africa to America. So again, basically, we already know if you're on this channel that so-called black people are Indians supposedly or autochthonous or the earth when it comes to this holy land here in the Americas, which is the land of milk and honey. Okay, so excuse me. So again, I don't know. I was just thinking about these things because then I was thinking about like looking back at research when I was doing stuff on family, the family tree and ties to the islands and Barbados and different people's names and stuff that again were a lot of I think what I thought I saw was a lot of Islamic groups or people, right, incorporated in censuses and stuff like that, which I felt again. I am someone who seeks and sees. Scry or whatever you want to call it. It's like a clear audience, like with words or whatever. And so I don't know. It's just like all of these names that were being. I don't know why I was thinking when I was reading these names like Pool and all these other names. I don't know. It was just giving me visions of things and connections to possible, again, alleged, right? Connections to what I thought was like possibly Elijah Muhammad and even Farrakhan. I mean, these are just things, again, and this was when I was doing extensive research and just connecting the dots with some of the family names. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Anything could be anything, but I just noticed that. So, because it made me think back to this image here. Okay, because I was wondering why. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it because the camera's not working. Okay. Yeah, the camera's not working, so we'll just go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and read since it's frozen, and then we'll come back when I want to show these images. But yeah, so we seen a sword, right? And then 33, I figured that was very, yeah, she heard you. But 33 or whatever. Um, and then, I don't know, like I said, it just, I wish I could show you it, but the thing is not working. Again, so I think that this is like one of those merry-go-round puzzle piece. It's random freestyle. Y'all just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Just bear with me because it's kind of just like I'm just gonna do it, okay? So okay. So it's just funny here, okay? Okay, so again, it's talking about here in 17 the notorious prostitute who sits upon many waters of the world. Um, the kings of the world have had immoral relations with her. Okay, and the people of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her immorality. So again, this is making me think, like I said, I like to be fair and balanced. So again, just seeing what I see, right? They cursed God because of the terrible hail. Okay, the hailstorm. So again, this is making me think, okay, and the islands vanished, okay, and the mountains flattened out, and there was an incredible hailstorm from heaven. Hailstones weighing 100 pounds fell from the sky onto the people below, and they cursed God because of the terrible hail. Okay, so again, this makes me think about, again, I'm thinking about the Eight of Wands rushing in, that type of energy. Um, like I said, kind of like this whole energy, like what I was watching stuff uh, today about, it's so funny. uh, NASA, NATO, Russia, all this energy with China and stuff like that. And so again, this is making, when I'm looking at these things right here and reading this, it's making me think of missiles or something, right? Okay, or some kind of laser something, right? Okay, because we're going to watch a clip of a video in a second here, but I'm just trying to say things so I can remember them just in case I don't remember them when we do it. But I noticed that they were using terms like when they were talking about that COVID brief, the nothing briefing today. And they were saying something like, we've been using laser such and such to try to get these results. And, this is the stuff that we've come up because of different lineage, So it just made me think, what are we talking about? Are we talking about some kind of traits or something that people are carrying? Or are we talking about still, the nothing? Like, it just made me wonder what we're really talking about here. And so I noticed that, again, it started off as alpha, right? And then again, this whatever it is, whatever it is, it made me think of America, right? So it's American, something like that. Okay, y'all know what it is. So again, that variant or whatever. So I was just looking at how it was highlighted on the screen, and then something told me, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the alpha and the omega? So, I had to go ahead because it was gamma and something else was on there too, but it was down to omega, right? So I'm like, what are we talking about? So, we're going to listen to a little bit of it later, but these are like things just in case, I forget, because y'all know my mind be, right? And you're interested or you noticed it too or something like that. Like maybe you can even write down something that you, with reading between the headlines, that you might have seen maybe fishy about. Or again, maybe not even fishy, but something, all right? That might have stood out to you, okay? Because we are talking about the plagues that came over, right? So again, the new variant, right? Okay, right? And then it's saying somebody was being shown about the notorious prostitute. And what I want to say about that, right? You know, um, I guess we over here, I don't know why it's going, my eye is good because I got written stuff here. I got my cards out, whatever. So I don't know why. Island, right, was one of the cards that we pulled today. And Source had me pull, and then the ocean with the ebb and flow. So I noticed when I was studying this, Ebo and that kind of energy kept coming up, like in etymology for different terms that I wanted to look at. And it's just so funny that I'm just thinking like, hold on, what are we talking about here? Okay. So we had ocean, fog, like foggy, that made me think about like a foggy mindset or something like that. Right. But then again, the volcano energy or volcanic energy, shape shifting energy. Okay. Earth magic, right? Reflecting on something, activation. So I feel like, and then we have DNA and karma here. So I feel like this has something to do with like some DNA activation or something. Again, we have that rainbow here, which for the rest of my life is going to remind me of the double rainbow that I witnessed. Okay. So again, we're talking about rain here, purification, making something white or making something clean again. So again, hopefully all this stuff will make sense after we're reading what we're going to read here. And I show you what I'm showing you here. Okay. So again, some kind of purification. So I think that, I don't know, what I feel like is that it's just saying that foreign energies or immigrants or migrant people may have access to sweet potato pie or feminine energy here on this plane. Because I feel like we're talking about literal things. I think we're talking about sacred things. I think we're talking about alien-ish kind of things. I think we're talking about these kind of things. And again, Gaia being as nourishing, right, as she is, right? So again, we're going to go into Venus. If some of this stuff makes sense to you, you might see, right? Okay, because some of the things that we're going to be reading about, the islands and things like that, about caves and stuff like that. So this was the cave card came out. Shaman, ancient healer, the Gullah or Gullish people, right? The Black Water, right? The first families of anything here in the Americas, the Black Waters. Again, which makes me think of, again, Edisto Black Bruton. My great grandmother, okay? So again, it made me think because this is all stuff that's coming to me. It's kind of like hitting me, like a ton of bricks. It just made me think about the verse that there was a thigh written on the name written on the thigh, right? Okay. And so again, it made me, we were talking, all of this energy was making me think about something being blindsided, right? Also a tower moment. You see this? Also with this hat of the Vicar of Christ, the Pope falling off of this tower here, people falling out of the tower. It's kind of like this is the energy that's talking about in this text. But again, you can be the judge, okay? I'm just giving a couple of visuals before we start. So it made me think about, I was looking at this image here, and I noticed her thighs, right? Well, I said, well, this is, this could be some kind of something if you really wanted to take it there. You know what I'm saying? It looked like something is written here in some kind of ancient text, even if you hold it back here. RPE, it looks like it says something, right? But then I noticed her thighs, right? These like hip peaks and valleys, right, on her thighs, right? And that she's all in white, right? Okay. She's all in white. And she's got her sand on her feet, right? So again, it made me think about, again, this energy here with the Muslim. Why am I feeling? Because again, I'm not going to apologize for anything I say here. This is all historic information. This is not, I never talk down about anybody, any race group or anything, right? So again, this is something, this is familiar. This is something, you know what I'm saying, that I don't have no control over. This is what's coming from me, from source, ancestors, guides, okay? Again, and it could be the fault of whoever chose to try to use whatever trickery or things that they were using, possibly some kind of laser or frequency, some kind of energy, okay? Right? We got the moon hovering over, right? She's dressed in white, but you notice that the Queen of Cups is also dressed in white, right? Because we're going to be talking about washing yourself in here. And she's peering in to that device, right? She's hovering over and peering in to that device. But we'll notice that also there's some things that I wanted to point out on the High Priestess card that on the High Priestess card that have the moon at the High Priestess feet though, right? But then again, we see this is a priestly white clean robe here, right? But she's sitting there, she's blindfolded, you know what I'm saying? She has her two swords, right? I be thinking sensei when I see it, okay? All right. So again, let's see. I don't think any of these Dreamtime creation. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Okay, so Island and Solitude. And I don't know why when I see this card and I see the things that are going on and what I'm seeing and things like this, I don't know why it's making me think about like a King Kong energy. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just like the king of a jungle or something like that. And then, with the Sekhmet energy, she is the lioness, of the jungle, right? So it brings me to the Strength card about, again, the person that was in the white robe on the Strength card, right? That is, let's see. Okay. How they try to take him and drop him off at that island or whatever. And I don't know. I can't remember if he stayed or not. Okay. So it made me start pulling cards with white robes, right? Okay, because now we're seeing a mix between that Islamic energy and then the USS Bruton energy, okay? There was a Bubba Bruton, I think, there in that writing. I don't know, it made me think about shrimp boats and something. I don't know why that made, like, life is like a box of chocolate energy, okay? So again, it's almost like the way I see it, is this energy here and this energy here, okay? So again, this is to keep the strength that you need, again, that I've used, I feel, or we have used in order to stand up for something. So, but again, this person does have a white robe, but I'm just questioning the whole thing about the white robe. Who said it? Was it God? Was it the Lord God? Was it somebody else that brought this up here? Right? Because of course we know that, this same thing is on the magician card. These two little things sticking off her head look like horns. But she's got this wreath around her stomach, and she's kind of like taming the beast or the lion. Okay? And then in the next new cards that I have, the lion jumps up and knocks her down on the ground. So again, I feel like in Revelation, I feel like with those new major arcana cards, I feel like it's representing the antiquity of the tarot, and then it's actually telling the future, I feel, of the tarot in the biblical text towards Revelations, right? But I already know that when we're going through this text, we can be in Genesis, and it's dealing with something that we're dealing with right now just as well as we in Revelations, and I can see things from Revelations and Genesis. So I don't know, it just made me think. Okay, so then you got this energy here, right, where it's like to subdue, subdue women, right, and replenish them. Look at the waterfall here. Okay, and then look at these cups, they're empty. So who's gonna replenish? Who's gonna fill them? So again, it makes me think about the King Solomon, David energy. Makes me think about Muslim energy. Makes me think about the sword, right? Because the King of Swords, I don't think none of the kings wear a white robe, but the Empress wears a white robe that has fruit all over it, very fruitful. Okay, so what I'm feeling like, I'm trying to read through here to see if we're trying to make the Empress into the whore of Babylon when there's actually a real whore of Babylon that's doing underground workings. Okay, right, and using technology and everything to slain or to crucify the real Christ energy so that she can then sit on that throne. And it will definitely be a feminine energy on the outward. So I'm thinking about in New York, right, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, right? Okay, I'm seeing moon energy here. All right, and yeah, these cups, and it's almost like, with me, right? It's, well, the King of Cups is kind of sitting on the waters with kind of stream with the sun, though. It's like something, the blood may be mixed with the sun, right? And there's a red boat there and a fish, okay? But I feel like, again, the Empress is just like, okay, but this would be like, again, another blinding, binding energy with Venus, because I'm getting Venus energy. So again, I'm just going to go through this, and we're going to just drop just a couple things, that we can just look at, right? So again, all stemming from, again, the original children are going to have obstacles, more obstacles than anyone, and more illusions given to them, right? And fear-based information and all this other stuff, right? Or things about, all these wishes of gold and, silver and all these material things, right? Okay, to have you looking at those things. Now, there's nothing wrong with those things. There's absolutely nothing wrong with those things. But in order for you to, do the work that we're doing to cleanse ourselves or make ourselves white in that manner or clean, what I'm saying, is what we're doing with our Ace of Cups or our pineal. With our, and again, the Thalamus energy reminds me of, again, the Venus energy sitting on the ass, right? Okay. I didn't take the picture of that. Where we can clearly see that, again, there's always allegorical, Yeshua speaking in parables, this kind of energy here, okay? So it's kind of like for you to discern and read between the lines, right? So I feel like, whatever this energy is wanted me to stay blind and with this force field around me, because again, this is the most, I feel like this they would only do this to one of the most powerful people, right? And then to leave the southern border open with the water leaking through. I feel like this is exactly what we're talking about in this text. So that foreign energy can have access to a divine vassal, a slice of that pie, right? It just happened to be possibly the whole pie, but the pie is already being divided, right, up to be given to others, right? But she is the pie. She is the abundance. She's just tied up. She can't see that, right? So she goes through a transformation. She goes through these things. But again, all of these energies right here that are sitting on high, right? Because it's going to talk about slaying the birds and fowl and everything like this. So they're sitting on high because they're connected to governing forces. That's government playing God, or God, government, however you want to look at it. Because again, we're going to keep on repeating these things over and over again. When you look at vote in etymology and study the word, it's saying that you're giving a vow to a God. So what man on earth are you voting for that you're calling God, right? But we do know that God did put the man to preside in the garden. My thing is that God put him there to cut her off and put another feminine energy, possibly with red hair, in her place. And go to the east of the garden and leave that vassal there trapped again and blinded, right? So that people can make it a whore, right? It's not like she chose to. It would be, the whoring would have something to do with other being left behind enemy lines when we're talking about the Afghan energy on purpose, possibly, right? Because the people are still there. We're still here, okay? And so when we're talking about it like that, then, you know, was it a purposeful act, knowing that it would not be protected? It would not have a fence around it like the White House does, even though I haven't seen Biden spend that much time at the White House, but it makes me wonder what kind of spiritual things are going on in that place. Yeah. So again, the whole time these people are cutting people off from being nations because they want to be the one to sit on high. We're talking about this butterfly pent down in here. That makes me think about, again, pimping a butterfly, right? Also, this baby in here that this girl is holding is in her almost abdominal area, but it's just like, again, this is a stolen fruit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering what we talking about here from families that have been cut off, right? So again, with the high priestess cards, we have all the seeds and stuff, and we're going to go through the cards a little bit later, but I want to get a bunch of it out first. So with the seeds, and so those of you that do tarot or, are familiar with the cards, you can, imagine. But all the seeds that are behind her, right? So it's like removing that covering and seeing what's behind it, and it's me. But they're covering up everything in the name of something, right? Okay. So I'm wondering, like, when Barbados is separating from the Queen, I'm just wondering which one, or how is that working, or what does this spiritually, subliminally mean? Okay. So anyway, all right. And again, we're dealing with wounded warriors that are still trying to stand their ground. But again, they feel like, again, some of these things have something to do with, possibly subliminally, I think they're tying it to an individual or some individuals, right? The whole nothing, right? And so again, that is going to subconsciously make people want to harm, hurt, seek out, be okay with culling or leaving out in the cold or cutting them off from being a nation or anything of that nature, right? So we have to be sure that we're talking about the energy of God or the Lord God, because the Lord God is an imposter God in my eyes. In some senses, in the biblical text, because there will be no reason for God to make everything and say is good in Genesis 1, and then the Lord God to come in and start to manifest or create or build beings, you know what I'm saying, in chapter 2, right? And so I found another creation story in chapter 1. So there's many creation stories in that book of Genesis, right? All right. So again, you notice that this judgment is being called, and these people are in white. It's like they were in a bath or some kind of coffin or something like that. Maybe they were dead. Judgment came and then brought them back and made them white. This might have something to do with nationality. I'm not really sure. You know what I'm saying? I just got to say it what it is. I speak about it how it is, but again, who's telling somebody to do this here? Okay? Who's telling somebody to do this? Black water, ether, cosmos, Milky Way. Even I think it was some stuff that had to do with some black something when it comes to Venus. So I'm just like brainstorming right now. So again, this cup is representing that energy, right? Your crown chakra, or that cup being full or anointed or overflowing with this. And it could be possibly talking about water, or it can be talking about entities of the water, or foreign entities tapping into your well. Well. Right? Well. Okay? Well. See? Because we see the Queen of Cups here, But on the cards, the new major arcana cards, she's going to be tipped off of her throne, right? So I don't know why it had made me think about the card that we pulled, the new moon card that we pulled, right? Yesterday. Okay. So again, I feel like when I pull these cards, I'm pulling them until something tell me to stop. So I feel like this is just all the little things that are trying to connect the dots for me. And I'm just taking you guys on the journey, right? Because again, we're dealing with the Son of God and we're dealing with the Son of Man. Okay. So anything that God is doing, the man is trying to duplicate it, right? So again, maybe make an artificial form of it, but man has more power and, is always planning, right? So again, they have the upper hand, but Source is stepping in with some of us as vassals. And I feel like this has something to do with, again, why they want some of us to get the antidote. And they're trying to find different ways that if you don't come out and get it, that they can get to you and give it to you, right? So again, a lot of this stuff about Etta Stowe in South Carolina, even North Carolina, a lot of talk about the star, right? Which makes me think about Eastern Star or even like star Aquarius energy. Again, this person is a water bearer, somebody pouring out the truth. This is something that possibly happened. So it makes me think about the rising phoenix, but it also makes me think about what are those the statues that are in like the Capitol building and stuff like that, right? That are the white statues. I was noticing there were some that were, I think, like a dark millstone color or whatever, I don't know. And then some of the statues in there were white and kind of like, it's almost like I was thinking, I wonder, where they came from. Then I was watching a video a while back, right, that said something, and I'm just being real picky about references, not because of that. I just want you to know that that's where I got it from. But like, I just feel like I don't want to be bringing nobody into whatever stuff I'm stirring up. Okay, right. So again, it was saying something about like, the girl was like a bird. Maybe she was a phoenix. I don't know, right? But she was saying something about like, do you know what happens to people that do something or whatever? I don't know if it was like speak out or whatever. Why do their world always want to change people? And then she was like, they're going to burn me or whatever. And then the guy says, I'm not going to never harm you or whatever. And then it's like, she said something about statues or something like that. And how did they get there? And she said, no, those were once people that was like me or whatever. And they ended up getting, that happening to them. So again, it's so funny because I was reading some stuff about this stuff. And again, I just started this research like an hour ago. And it was talking about these statues and things like this. And I felt like maybe we're even talking about them. Oh, I know. Maybe this is why I have it circled. Because I did a video on it already about those statues in there. And what's kind of like creepy about it. Like, what is that movie, Night at the Museum or something like that? When all the things were coming to life at night. I mean, I don't know, like, again. I mean, okay. So again, pouring out the water in the waters and on the earth, though, to nourish, her babies too, right? Because again, this is like all access information. It's just like, again, and this is what I feel like creates the division when it comes to that Christ energy that's going to come, that light that's going to come and shine so bright that people don't even want to hear it. They don't want to look at it because it's too much of the truth. Even if the truth is just that we need to be looking at ourselves. And we don't need to be having people in white coats. See, then you make you think about, why do doctors wear white coats? And look, do they really like you? Look at them like, let me put a little bit of this and that and that. So again, it's just like, I don't know. This energy, like I said, I don't know. Foot in the water, the toe on the land. You know what I'm saying? Again, on high, angel or phoenix energy possibly, right? But again, the crown is not illuminated. You have to take this road, this journey or whatever to get and go up to this mountaintop or the peak or whatever to get that. Right? And a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to use malice and they want to use different things to get what they want. Right? Nobody's saying that nobody should not be doing them. But again, it just have to, for me, I just look at everything individually. That's what I do. Okay? And I don't never want nothing that ain't mine. I ain't never fighting for nothing that ain't mine. I ain't never trying to hold on to nothing that ain't mine. I ain't never trying to get nothing that's nobody else's. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Okay. So again, what is it? At 12. I can't even read that. Oh, okay. 9 minutes. Flag. Okay, because it then, okay, well, I was looking at images of Venus, right? But we're going to go ahead and read this first. I want to read it first. Because I found some interesting information about that. Oh, another thing came to mind was couldn't wipe this black off if I tried, from the Beyonce song. Okay, which, it makes me think about the black surname, and it also makes me think about black so-called people, the nationality, right? Okay, and I wrote new moon, two of swords. So maybe again, maybe when it made me think about the two of swords, maybe when that person took the blinding off, it was able to slay something. I don't know. Okay, Gad or Gadsden energy from the video that I did about the salt of the earth in the Gad's End, or Gadsden area, and Nicodemus and all that, right? And then the golden serpent that was put up on the pole, which is actually the Gadsden flag, the "Don't Tread on Me" flag with the serpent on it. Okay, so again, and that's kind of like the energy that's exuding here. Whatever you try to come with, or whoever's coming, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is what it is, right? So I'm following even the black waters down. Something kept saying Florida, Florida, and then I started to, something that's even making me go down into Florida and look at the Seminole energy, and then also black water, um, streams or whatever and stuff that are in Florida as well. Okay, because when we're talking about sitting on those 7 mountains or hills, I'm thinking that we're talking about 7 like so-called states today, like California, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, damn near possibly. I don't know if it has something to do with Washington. I mean, no. Okay, maybe Washington. Okay, and then also, I don't. I will just stop there. Okay, something about Texas, but I don't know. Okay, and it's something about Southern California or that area. Okay. Um, so we'll see what all ties in when we do this. And I hope this is a decent way to do this video. Um, yeah, I hope this is a decent way to do the video. I'm just trying to, like, I don't like to be like planning stuff out and everything. I just like to catch, and if something catch me off guard, I like to be like doing it with y'all or whatever. So, okay. Okay, so again, Moses, servant of God, in the song of the Lamb, great and marvelous are your doings, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are your ways, O King of ages. Who shall not fear the Lord, and glorify your name? Boom, boom, boom. So again, I feel like when I'm reading this, it's making me think about something. Um, the living, okay, 4 living beings handed each of them a golden flask. So this is making me think about the 4 of Cups with terrible wrath of the living God who lives forever and ever. So again, look at this. The living God who lives forever and ever. That is the mother goddess Gaia. That is the mother earth energy. That's the Ruach energy. That's the Hakadesh energy. That is that energy that I'm tapping into as that counterpart or daughter or wife or whatever it will be of what I consider to be my God, my source, my, right, and dealing with the dark matter, right, in that energy. All right, because that's a difference. We're talking about a living God, and this is the living Bible, so it would be very relevant for the living God, right, to be speaking the word, right? Because man shall not live on bread alone, which is your daily bread, your word, but every word that is coming out of the mouth of God. So if God is going to be taking up a residence inside of an energy, then I don't know. Right? Like Hathor and all of the other ancient deities or gods and goddesses, emperors even, right? But I'm just saying, it's just, you know, I just think that people are misunderstanding things because everything has been so watered down with the church, especially within our communities, right? So again, sometimes I have to tread through images and things like that from days ago, right? So it's just making me think about this energy here. Okay, again, right? She's got the alligator underneath her foot. She got the scorpion in her hand. So again, this is giving me Whore of Babylon energy, right? The mother, the goddess that is actually doing dealings with the kings and the noblemen, and they're ending up missing, dying, or sick. Well, again, I feel like we're talking about if we're talking about feminine energy and the nothing or the breath of God, right? A lot of high priestesses speaking truth and speaking things, a lot of stars, right? The capital and then all the other capitals, right? Everybody don't have the gifts the way that some of us do, right? And some gifts are more strong and powerful in other ways. And then together is how you see what I'm saying? So unity is key, right? But I feel like this is what we're talking about. This is what I feel like I see. This is what I see here, okay? For you alone are holy. All nations will come and worship before you, for your righteous deeds have been disclosed, right? So again, I think that, again, this energy here is will be looked at as that, right? Because it's going to be talking about gold and people that were getting up all these things, right? But again, like I said, when people use people for stuff like that, then, some big bad wolf that's bigger than them is going to come and, eat them up after they get finished. After they get finished using you doing whatever it is, they're going to, do the same thing. So again, we're talking about the Sarah Baartman energy, right? Okay. And how, again, as so-called black women or indigenous women, you know what I'm saying? We just have to be careful with these phones. We have to be careful with things, in our homes and stuff like that, like some type of invasion. I mean, seriously, really. Okay. And just the shape of her body, right? And how they're trying to compare it to this Caucasian man's body here, okay, to get the measurements or whatever just right. It's almost like a woman can't be the star. She can't be a star of her own show. People want to just take from her, take her energy, take all these things, her position, her power, her goods, and all these things, right? And I'm talking about a womb, right? Excuse me, not a woman as in a migrant or immigrant person, right? Because again, that oof, if we think of it in this way, as man came over and joined with women, right? And then they had children or minorities or descendants or whatever. It should be that those children are the ones on top. But it is the colonizers and then the women from other lands that were brought in after they got finished colonizing or conquering that would be coming into our land, assuming roles and positions as queen when there were already empires, kings and queens and emperors here. You get what I'm saying? They want you to think that we were swinging from trees, and that's not the case. Especially when we're talking about those Gullah people and when we're talking about the Carolinas and the militant families that were there, that were very strong and robust and tactical. Again, we're thinking Sekhmet, Mesopotamian energy, the palm tree, even with the palm tree with the moon or the star, right? I think it's a star. No, a moon. Is it just a moon or a moon and star? I don't know. But again, when we're looking at that energy, it's making me think of the palm tree as the woman's figure or body, even her hair as like an afro, right? Or the feathers in her hair, right? And then, like I said, being that star. That I'm hearing like shine bright like a diamond energy here. All right. And, I'm hearing Sioux, Canaan, Canada. Like I said, I don't know. And then the sun and the moon, but the sun, like I said, the moon just looks salty all the time. I just don't know. I'm just saying on these cards, I ain't trying to even be funny, y'all, today. Okay. So again, the whole time, it's like everybody's looking in. All the animals, the plants, the people, man, the birds, fowl of the air, beast of the field is looking at the world card, the world, the lady in the world. Now, we know in the new card, she stepped up out of here, okay? And we'll probably just go through them later, and I'll just talk as I pull them and tell you what I'm seeing, All right. But she put the two wands down and she got up and walked out. Right. One of these wands has writings on it. Okay. She's in this, captured in this jar or this lab kind of energy, right? And then again, we see the air or something, right? The what this looks like wind or something coming in, like this is defective here, this part of this wreath. So I don't know, it just makes me think of that energy. But again, that's somebody blowing it out of proportion, because they're afraid of the judgment that's coming from God. Okay. Because again, the high priestesses can see what's going on with the seeds, what's going on with the trees, or the feminine energy, the children. Mm-hmm. She's draped in the water because she also has ties with the water. But all of her children are the fruit of the earth. And she's got the pearl, the choicest pearl energy with the Taurus horns, I feel, on top of her head and the moon at her feet. So again, I feel like, again, she got the Torah on her lap. But again, I looked at the cross and the pearl as the Ankh. So I just feel like this is something, it's a calling. This is a specific calling, but I think that people will be able to see kind of something, right? Okay? People are going to be able to see something here. All right? So we see this here, and I'm going to show you more pictures and stuff down the line. But that's the South Carolina flag with the moon there, right? And then the palm tree. And then it's talking about the southeastern United States, known for the shoreline and subtropical beaches and marsh-like sea islands. Okay, coastal Charleston is a historic city defined by pastel-colored houses. And that makes me think about Puerto Rico. If you look at the emblem or flag of Puerto Rico, you'll see the lamb on there with the book with the seals. Excuse me. But it also makes me think about the 7 colors, the sardine stone and all that stuff. Makes me think about, again, where was the president? I think the president that was assassinated, I can't remember, or supposedly, I can't remember what, right off the top of the head, what island that was, but I'm pretty sure you guys know. Again, there's something about all of this, and I'm just taking y'all on the journey with me. Okay, so Old South plantations, Fort Sumter, where the Civil War opening shots were fired. Okay, yeah. So again, that was the start of so shots fired. Okay, yeah. Okay, so again, this is shots fired can also be by mouth, kind of like the little war that's going on with the one lady, and then the one lady Umar, whatever I think her name is, or something like this. So again, I feel like, again, speaking on this Islamic energy is rubbing people the wrong way. They come in sideways talking about what it's about, but we really know what it's about. And I'm just unapologetic about it, because it's just like, I'm not talking down about anything. I'm pointing out different things. I'm talking about his story and this story now. So again, if somebody's really upset or mad about that, then again, it just shows the true colors of the entity, which could be a corporation, a group, a nation, or anything. And when it comes to anybody trying to put themselves over the American Aborigine, I am the spokesperson. I look at myself as that king of kings, right? And the protector, the steward, or the protector of those particular people. Okay, so Fort Sumter, which makes me think of Sumer anyways, okay? To the north is the Grand Strand. So again, we're talking strands or strains, possibly. What? I don't know. Roughly 6-mile stretch of beachfront known for golf courses and vacations. Okay, so again, Myrtle Beach. I think they do talk about the myrtle tree or something like that in here in the biblical text. Okay, but I thought that something else was very intriguing here. Okay, so again, I don't know why the whole Barbados things, we were talking about this earlier, like last week, I think. And then now all these things are happening, right? So it makes me think of antediluvian and those kind of energies, right? So again, I went to look and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Because we were talking a lot about imposters and I just don't know what we're talking about, right? And so I said, hold on, let me see something real quick. So I look up Barbados just to see what the flag is or what I can see about it. And there's the Triton. There's my Triton right there. Look at that. So again, with the West Indies, look, okay, there's the Triton, okay? And then it's talking about Bridgetown, right? because that made me think about Bridget or Birdie, which was another ancestral name here that will be connected to David and Joseph and Paul and all of those names. And they are darker skinned, taller individuals on that side of the family when it comes to the pits. So again, they threw them in the pit, right? So the pits were cursed because what? Speaking the truth, because they had very clairvoyant gifts, because they were pouring the water out and shining a light to help the people, but they've been blindsided by idols and everything like this, and riches and false promises that when Yeshua comes, all of that stuff is going to be knocked down anyway, because of what they did to the real children in order to obtain it, because of their greed, because of these things, because they were having sexual intercourses with different nations. So again, they're honoring their mother and father. That's what they're supposed to do. I'm honoring mine. I'll honor them, the ones of the waters, and I'll honor the ones here on the earth. But that's why the Aquarius and the star card, that's why she's doing that. She's nourishing, again, healing. It's healing energy. The earth and the water can take it. You do whatever you want to do with it, right? It ain't stopping nothing, really. So again, here's that Triton here. And what I tell y'all, when it's all broken up like that, because these are the pieces that they're trying, red and blue, Democrat, Republican, Trump and Biden. This whole thing, the 400 years been over. I said it's imposters. What I said is what I said. And it's funny, the Muslim energy, now they're, oh no, people are just trying to attack. That ain't what it is, so don't play. Because I don't have no feelings, like it's facts over feelings all day. You think God came down here for somebody to be like, oh, please, well, oh, this, or stuff don't even hurt my feelings. Actually, stuff don't even hurt my feelings. The fact that these people probably have, been invading my privacy and private parts, right? Again, I didn't come to fit into their world because I know it's going to fade away if they keep on doing the things that they're doing, especially when it comes to this crafty council. Because we're in real time, so what I feel like has been done is there's definitely probably a noose back on the channel because, you know what I'm saying, it's tightened back on the channel because I don't think that a lot of people like what I'm saying here. All right. But the truth is my sanctuary. And I go within, and I've been communing with source and energy today. And it's like, hold on, look at this real quick. So that's what we're doing. Okay. But the scepter shall never leave Judah. This look like a dragon. It also look like a wolf. Is a canine, whatever you want to call it. It looks like the lion. Again. Same thing as the Queen of Cups with the butterfly trapped underneath the little triangle, the pyramid shape. The gases. See what I'm saying? See, the breath of God, they're trapping. So they want to kill God on earth, right? They want to kill the living God energy here. That's just exactly what they just trying to do, period. Right? But then the Alpha and the Omega, right? That's the beginning. Okay, so we were talking about the variants or whatever. And the Delta. Down in the Delta. Wasn't it a movie called that? And so now it's the end, right? So I feel like, again, something happened. And what they're doing is vilifying, possibly, right? That energy, the breath of God, which would just be the Ruach or God. The living God, what would be housing that, the energy of that living God. The son or descendant could be a female. So with the works were to vilify, to make you afraid of, to make these things appear so dangerous so that subconsciously you can target that individual, right? On the Handmaid's Tale, that's what they did. If somebody was accused of doing something, they brought them in and they let the nannies or the handmaids rip the people apart, kill them with their bare hands, clawing and ripping at them. So again, that also makes me think about like that energy coming in, right? But with this whole divine masculine feminine energy, I feel like it has something to do with causing some kind of dis-ease of the heart, your heart chakra, right? And then look at this whole temperance energy, get you all in your feelings. Look at where that pyramid is sitting on her chest, right? Because I just don't think these people are authentic or natural. Her body is in the water more than it is on land. And she got wings. That's just what I'm saying for this particular, what I'm getting from this particular search, right? Okay. So now we see Venus here holding up this horn. Okay, because they were changing the flag or whatever. They were thinking about changing the South Carolina flag, or they maybe did. But again, look at the horn there. Okay. She could be the palm tree, right? And then that could be the moon shape. And when they said that it wasn't the moon, maybe it really wasn't. Maybe it was this horn or whatever this would be. Okay. It could be the scroll. It could be the Torah, like the high priestess. Look at it. It looked like something been shaved off right here. Oh, okay. So we're going to read that later. But I found these things very interesting, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the true definition of beauty? Is it outward or in, right? Because all these little different drawings of Venus, you can't, her head is covered. Her eyes are covered, right? It's like a Colosseum in the middle. It reminds me of a Colosseum, like everybody is all in her shit, right? But look at the body, or the shape of the body, and the thighs, right? And I don't know if some of you ladies might have something, interesting thighs, right? People are always worried about thigh meat or a thigh gap, right? But I don't think that a thigh gap is really very natural, okay? All right. So again, here's the little chart that made me want to go ahead and go into this, and then we're going to go ahead and finish reading, right? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Well, I didn't even hear about the beta gammas, but delta variant, yeah, we heard about that. And then the Omicron variant, okay? Let's see. Okay, Pango lineage. So again, it's saying something about lineages and samples and stuff like this. So again, like I said, it's just something to think about. It's just we're questioning everything is all I'm saying, okay? Past, present, future. Okay, we just question everything about this story, okay? Because it's definitely a tower moment. But again, the children of Israel are tired of tower moments. So is source causing one, right? For these particular people. Look at the hat, the vicar of Christ, because the living God or the Christ energy is already near. They're just making you scared of it, talking about it's some kind of variant. That's just what it made me think, okay? Right? Because everything is to tear down and kill the Son of God and exalt the Son of Man, period. So again, everything is going to be flipped upside down. Whatever traits, they're going to try to force to project those energies on the holy ones, the ones that are trying to do right, that are doing the inner work, that are healing and ascending and bringing other people along with them and helping heal other people and share things that help heal or help people ascend. That is the way to heaven. That is the way to your higher self, and then your most high self, and then source. This is how I feel. Yeah. Okay. So again, with those things being said, let's go ahead and I guess go into the reading, and I'll try not to stop as much. Okay. Right. But I wanted to make that point about because right here it's saying the notorious prostitute. So I'm guessing there's a prostitute and a notorious prostitute. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and read. Okay. It's just very interesting, all this stuff and just how it's coming to me, right? Okay. Because it's almost like somebody, like, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you don't have to do it that way, but just, listen so that you can just make your case almost, right? Okay. So let's just see. I'm going to pick one divine feminine card just to see what kind of energy I think that we may be in today. Okay. Rabiah, the queen of saintly women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Okay. And she got her little light shining above her head. Christ energy, because all these are Christ energy. It's just when it comes to this Yoni, when it comes to this energy, right? I just heard sexual healing. So for some people, it may be that. It might be some other kind of healing for somebody else, right? So again, the Shekinah or Shekinah or whatever you want to say, okay? The presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light, period. I mean, anybody could be reading these cards, but I'm just saying this is why I'm bringing you all this information here, because, again, this is something that, to me, it's a calling. An inner journey. So when I'm saying something like that, don't ever take it as like I'm trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to use, discernment. That I'm trying to be like I'm over someone. This is just my personal journey. I'm showing other people how they can, be connected to the journey or have their own journey. That's just all what it is, okay? So ancient wisdom, okay? And teaching, okay? And then the cards are upside down, so I guess that's all they really want me to pull. So we're just going to go ahead and read it, all right? So again, let's just be careful what we're seeing here. Because I think shots been fired, right, already for a very long time, okay? And they curse God because of the terrible hell. So again, God would be that mother goddess energy, that Gaia energy, that they basically low-key, subconsciously is trying to make you hate, like you do the vid, or like you do people that didn't get the antidote, or whatever. It's like everything is being blamed on that scapegoat or the lamb energy, so that they can have someone to slew or slaughter or get rid of, and nobody would even miss that energy. Okay. And it's almost like a twin flame kind of energy, because if you kill me, you're killing yourself. Okay. If you harm me, you harm yourself. If I harm you, I'm harming myself. That's how I look at it. Okay. So again, the people got mad at God, right? Because of the terrible hell. Okay. So again, this could be us even bringing this truth that people don't want to hear. Nobody can say go back to Africa anymore. These things, people have to say, oh my goodness, what all was true? Oh my goodness, have we been lied to? What else is, So again, people are uniting, not by color or anything, just because what's right? Oh no. Because you think that so-called black unity, right? Where other groups are already united. But you think so-called black unity alone is going to make moves? No. I feel like when it comes to the Bilquis energy, you have to use the heavens and the earth. That's why this temperance angel is here. But again, she's not an angel. She's an earth angel, or she is just that. She is the embodiment of that. Pure, true. The truth. I'm feeling like this, even the black, I don't know, maybe, again, there might be some ties to some society or something. I don't know. That's just what just ran through my mind, okay? So again, and then it makes you question, what have we been thinking about some of these things? And are they what we said, what we thought they were? You know what I'm saying? Again, it's just making me think about a whole thing. I don't know why, and this is a universal message is coming from me. I'm telling parts of like my story of my family, but again, I feel like other people are from those places too. You know what I'm saying? And this might not be something that you find on a document, because there was a lot of misplaced children or begotten children, but there would be no documents of the begetting. It would just be like, this person's name is on here and this is what it is or whatever, but it's really not. You really actually spiritually is something's going to wake you up to show you that there might have been some inconsistency in what you thought. I feel like that's something else that's coming out as to why you might have been the black sheep. Why this and that? Why are we talking about like star children and 80s babies and, things like this? Millennials and all this other energy. All right. So let's go.